Welcome, dear students, to a new math lesson. Today we'll be talking about the cubic root of the rational number. In this example, the question is asking me to find the volume of a cube that has an edge length of 4 centimeters. So let's remember together what is the rule of the volume of a cube, or how can we get the volume of a cube. Yes, the volume is the side to the power of 3, then it's 4 to the power of 3, so the volume of this cube is 64 centimeters cubed. Another example, the question says, if the volume of a cube is 125 centimeters cubed, how can we find the length of its edge? So L cubed, or the side cubed, is equal to 125. Then we need to make prime factorization for the 125. Divided by 5, it's 25. Divided by another 5, it's 5. Divided by 5, it's 1. So when we do the prime factorization, it's 5 times 5 times 5. So we have 3 5s. Yes, so when we make a cubic root, it is 5. Then the edge length is 5 centimeters long. The definition: what is the cubic root of the rational number? It is the number whose cube equals a. So we can read it together. The cubic root of the rational number a is the number whose cube equals a. It's denoted by the cubic root of a. As we can see here, what is the cubic root of 64? What number multiplied by itself 3 times to give me 64? Yes, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. Same thing goes with the negative number. What number multiplied by itself 3 times to give me negative 64? You do the cubic root of 64, which is 4, and then you put the negative outside. So the cubic root of negative 64 is negative 4. The cubic root of any number has the same sign of this number. Let's now go and see another question. Find each of the following. How can we find the cubic root of 216? So to do this one, we can do it by prime factorization. How can we do it? Let's see together how to do it. Here's the 216 divided by 2. It's 108. Divided by 2. It's 54. Divided by 2. It's 27. Divided by 3. It's 9. Divided by 3. It's 3. Divided by 3, it's 1. So as you can see here, it has 3 2's and it has 3 3's. So the cubic root of 216, it's 2 times 3, which is 6 as written next to it. Example number 2, the cubic root of negative 8 over 125. And here, in this cubic root, yes, this is the answer, negative 2 over 5. Let's check together from where did we get this final result. This means that it's a cubic root of negative 8 divided by the cubic root of 125. As we did in the previous example, the cubic root of 125, yes, it's 5. And here, this one is negative under the root, so it's negative outside the root. And then the cubic root of 8 is 2. From where did we know that the cubic root of 8 is 2? What number multiplied by itself 3 times equals 8? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Then the cubic root of 8 is 2. As long as in this question it's a cubic root of negative 8, then it will be negative 2. This question, the cubic root of 0.064, yes, it's 0.4. Let's see together now how did we find this. This one, if you write it as a fraction, it will be a cubic root of 64 divided by 1000. So it is the cubic root of 64 divided by the cubic root of 1000. Then, if you prime factorize the 64, let's do it together now. Here's the 64 divided by 2, it's 32, divided by 2 is 16, divided by 2 is 8, divided by 2 is 4, divided by 2 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. So each three same numbers, we'll take them outside with one number. So we have 2 times 2, which is 4. You can do it mentally that 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. And here for sure it is 10. Then this one as decimal is 0.4. Let's now check some remarks. The first remark we have is that the cubic root of a to the power of 3 is a. The power of 3 crosses out the cubic root. So in the first one, cubic root a to the power of 3 is a. If you want to write the root as a fractional power or as exponent, we make the inside exponent over the index outside. So it would be a to the power of n over 3. A to the power of n over 3. Let's check this example and see how are we going to simplify this one. It says cubic root of a to the power of 6, b to the power of 3. As we said, so this one means it's cubic root of a to the power of 6 times cubic root of b to the power of 3. So a to the power of 6 over 3 times b, then it's a squared b. Another remark we have, the solution set of the equation. If we have x cubed equals a, then for you to find the value of x, you need to make a cubic root in both sides of the equation. So to remove a power of 3, you need to make a cubic root. To remove a cubic root, you need to make a power of 3. So remember this very well. So in this question, again, we have x to the power of 3 equals a. As we said, how can I cross out to the power of 3? Yes, I make a cubic root. So can I make a cubic root in one side of the equation only? No, definitely no. I have to make the cubic root on both sides of the equation. So here, in this one, we'll make a cubic root in both sides, then x equals the cubic root of a. Let's take an example here. How can we find the solution set of the equation? X cubed equals 8, then a cubic root in both sides, then x equals the cubic root of 8, which is 2. Another example, the question is asking us to find the solution set of this equation. What is the equation? The equation is 40x to the power of 3 minus 1 equals negative 136. So for us to start solving this, we need to isolate the numbers in one side and the variables in the other side. So in here, we're going to move the negative 1 to the other side as a plus 1. Then 40x cubed equals negative 135. Then x cubed equals 135 over 40, which is negative 27 over 8. X cubed, how can we get rid of the power of 3? Yes, excellent, that we make a cubic root in both sides of the equation. So x equals cubic root of negative 27 over 8, which is negative 3 over 2. Then, in this problem, the solution set is negative 3 over 2. Let's now move to another question to find the solution set of x minus 2 all cubed equals negative 343. Yes, here we have a bracket that has a power of 3. How can we get rid of a power of 3? Yes, by making a cubic root in both sides of the equation. So here, we're going to make a cubic root on the left-hand side and a cubic root on the right-hand side. So x minus 2, now the power 3 is crossed out, equals a cubic root of negative 343, which is 7. Then x minus 2 equals 7. Then when you move the 2 to the other side, x equals 7 plus 2, which is 9. Then the solution set is 9. Let's now move on to the evaluation part. And please, when it comes to the evaluation part, pause the video, try to answer the questions yourself, and then play the video again to check your answers. So the first question is a multiple choice question. The question is asking us to choose the correct answer. The first one, if the cubic root of x equals 1 over 4, how can we find the value of x? Yes, as we said, if I have a power of 3, I make a cubic root to cross out the power of 3. So what if I have a cubic root? Yes, excellent. We make a power of 3 on both sides of the equation to cross out the cubic root of x. So here we have cubic root of x equals 1 over 4. If we want to get rid of the cubic root, we make a power of 3 in both sides. So this power of 3, it crossed out the cubic root, then x equals 1 to the power of 3 over 4 to the power of 3, which is 64. Then in this problem, our answer is choice D. Question 2. The cubic root of 64 equals the square root of what? Then here we need to find what is the value of the cubic root of 64, right? So here, let's now find this. Prime factorization of 64. 64 divided by 2, it's 32. Divided by 2 is 16. Divided by 2, it's 8. Divided by 2, it's 4. Divided by 2, it's 2. Divided by 2, it's 1. Then we have 3 2's, and we have another 3 2's. So 2 times 2, which is 4. Then the cubic root of 64 equals 4. Shall I go now and choose A? No, because the question wants me to find the 4 is a square root of what? Square root of what equals 4? 4 times 4 is what? Yes, it's 16. Then the square root of 16 is 4. Then in question 2, the right answer is choice C. Another type of the question is asking us to find the solution set of each of the following equations. Let's now go and see number 1. It says 2x to the power of 3 minus 1 equals 53. How can I solve this? The first thing I do, I move the 1 to the other side with a plus 1, right? So it's 2x power 3 equals 54 divided by 2 divided by 2. So it's 54 divided by 2. Then x cubed equals 27. We make a cubic root on both sides. Then x is equal to 3. Question 2. We're going to make a cubic root in both sides of the equation. So 5x minus 3 equals the cubic root of 8, which is 2. Move the 3 to this side. 5x equals 2 plus 3. Then 5x equals 5. So x is equal 1. As long as the question is asking me to find the solution set, so in each of the two answers you have to make solution set equals 3 in the first one and solution set equals 1 in the second question. By finishing answering this question, we came to the end of our session today. Thank you very much and good luck.